Adaba 88.9 FM.
It's midday.
The world moves at a fast pace, and news breaks with the same speed.
Sometimes you find the news, and sometimes the news finds you.
All stations can keep up. At Adaba FM, we'll not only give you news at the speed of nanosecond, but we'll also break it down with up-to-date analysis, informed opinions, and distinct professionalism. That's why you love us. Adaba 88.9 FM, your go-to station.
Good afternoon. I'm Olajumoke Omotosho with Global News in the news. Germany's president arrives Nigeria today on a 2-day visit. Syria's former government officials face war crime charges. South Korea bans more officials from leaving the country.
This is the news.
Nigeria has ranked fourth among countries whose citizens were granted U.S. citizenship through military naturalization between 2020 and 2024. During the period under review, the United States naturalized over 52,000 military service members across different countries. According to data obtained from the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services on Monday, 3,270 Nigerian-born service members were granted U.S. citizenship, trailing only the Philippines of 5,630, Jamaica 5,420, and Mexico with 3,670. Service members born in Philippines, Jamaica, Mexico, Nigeria, and Ghana are the top 5 countries of birth among those naturalized, comprised over 38% of the naturalization since 2020. The next 5 countries of birth, Haiti, China, Cameroon, Vietnam, and South Korea, comprised an additional 16% of military naturalizations from 2020 to 2024. President Frank-Walter Steinmeier of Germany will arrive in Nigeria today on a state visit for 2 days. The German embassy made a disclosure in a statement on Monday. The statement says the president will meet with Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the president of the Commission of Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS, Aliyu Umar Toure. According to the statement, Steinmeier will then proceed to Lagos, where he will engage with business representatives. He will also visit a startup hub and meet with members of Nigeria's cultural sector and civil society, like Dr. Nike Okudaye and Professor Wole Soyinka. He will tour the city of Lagos and gain insight into the urban development of a megacity, including environmental and social challenges. Today, Syria's Islamist leader has vowed to pursue former senior government officials responsible for torture and war crimes. He made this known a day after he began talks on the transfer of power following President Bashar al-Assad ouster. Assad fled Syria as the Islamist-led opposition alliance swept into the capital, Damascus, bringing a spectacular end to 5 decades of brutal rule by his clan. He oversaw a crackdown on a democracy movement that erupted in 2011, sparking a war that killed 500,000 people and forced half of the country to flee their homes, millions of them finding refuge abroad. The rebel group is in talks with outgoing Prime Minister Mohammed al-Jalali to coordinate a transfer of power that guarantees provision of services to Syria's people. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed Donald Trump as one of the only leaders feared by Russian President Vladimir Putin, while calling on the international community to come together to end the war in Ukraine. Speaking after meeting with Trump, the French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris over the weekend, Zelensky said that the talks had been very productive and that he was grateful for Trump's strong resolve to bring the conflict to an end. Zelensky's remarks come 2 days after Trump called for an immediate ceasefire and negotiations to end the conflict. While Trump's strategy for ending the war is unclear, supporters of Ukraine have raised fears that it could involve cutting off military aid to Kyiv and ceding some or all the Ukrainian territory seized by Russian forces. You're on to Global News from Adaba 88.9 FM Akure, transmitting from Ilaramoki. After the break, South Korean bans more officials from leaving the country. Details in the second part of the bulletin. Please join us again.
Oh boy, Bajaj Boxer get better wolf this December. Oh. Enjoy am. Offer dey available. Why stock last?
Wasobia, my country people. This talk where I want yarn go suit your belly. You get one ogbonge place where be sent for your comfort and enjoyment. Now Uncle Love Service Apartment.
I want to tell you a story.
The news on Adaba 88.9 FM.
Glad to have you back for news update and live streaming. Visit our website www.adaba889.fm or download Adaba FM app on Google Play Store. You can be part of us on our social media platforms www.facebook.com/Adaba FM 89 on Facebook, at Adaba 89 FM on Instagram and X, and Adaba FM TV on YouTube. You can provide us information via email newsroom@adaba889.fm. Now to rest of the bulletin. Qatar, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia have decried Israel's seizure of land in Syria near the occupied Golan Heights as Israeli military continues to launch airstrikes across the country. On Monday, the Qatari Foreign Ministry said that Doha considers Israeli incursion as a dangerous development and a blatant attack on Syria's sovereignty and unity, as well as a flagrant violation of international law. The policy of imposing a fait accompli pursued by Israeli occupation, including its attempt to occupy Syrian territories, will lead the region to further violence and tension. Israel started attacking Syria after the armed opposition in the country toppled the government of former President Bashar al-Assad early on Sunday. The kingdom's foreign ministry also called on the international community to denounce the Israeli campaign, stressing that the Golan Heights is an occupied Arab territory. A 26-year-old man has been charged with murder over the last week's fatal shooting at United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City. Lungi McGill was taken into custody at a McDonald's in the town of Latona, Pennsylvania, about 280 miles west of the New York City on Monday, after a customer at the fast food outlet recognized him. An Ivy League graduate from a prominent Maryland family was found in possession of a gun and a handwritten document that indicated motivation and mindset. He then appeared in a Pennsylvania court to be arraigned on 5 initial counts and was denied bail. Mr. Thompson, 50, was fatally shot last Wednesday morning outside a Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan, where United Healthcare Medical Insurance held investors' meeting. South Korean authorities have imposed a travel ban on President Yoon Suk-yeol, who is under investigation for a short-lived martial law declaration last Tuesday. Yoon narrowly survived an impeachment motion against him over the weekend after members of parliament from his ruling People Power Party PPP boycotted the vote. PPP members said they decided not to support the motion after Yoon agreed to shorten his term and not get involved in foreign and domestic affairs. However, the opposition Democratic Party, which commands a majority in the parliament, have criticized the deal, with floor leader Park Chan-dee calling it an illegal, unconstitutional second insurrection and second coup. Tens of thousands of people have come out in protest since Yoon's short-lived martial law order, calling him to resign or be impeached. New Zealand has announced plans to ban great hood racing, citing an unacceptably high rate of injuries. The sport has long faced criticism in the country, with some breeders accused of mistreating or doping the animals. The government plans to wind down the industry over the next 20 months to allow time for the beharming of racing dogs and for people in the industry to transition to other jobs. Apart from New Zealand, commercial greyhound racing is allowed in Australia, Ireland, the UK, and US. To end global news, Eric of Over Top Stories. President Frank-Walter Steinmeier of Germany will arrive in Nigeria today on a state visit for 2 days. Syria's Islamist rebel leaders vowed to pursue former senior government officials responsible for torture and war crimes. However, South Korean authorities have imposed a travel ban on President Yoon Suk-yeol, who is under investigation for a short-lived martial law declaration last Tuesday. That's global news. I was edited by Adeyemi Lawal. I'm Olajumoke on Motor Show saying good afternoon and thanks for listening.
Oh boy, Bajaj Boxer get better woo this December. Oh,
Not be to
you fit get her for only